As we proceed to give you what you need, you are now rocking with pressing issues. My name is Dan the Humorous. Glad to have you out there. And we go straight into the meat of the day. The Kaduna State House of Assembly has approved total castration of anybody found guilty of raping anyone 14 years and younger. I repeat, 14 years and younger, total castration. Thumbs up, Kaduna State House of Assembly. The other states of assembly in Nigeria, House of Reps, Senate, copy that. Although they say, as at the time of recording this show, that the governor is yet to assent to this bill. But if you know my main man, El Boogie, he doesn't take shit. So you can be very sure that that law is as good as signed. Now, still on Kaduna State, the governor of Kaduna, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, aka El Boogie, said it cost the state about 400,000 to manage and treat a COVID patient. Recall weeks back or months back, we heard from the Lagos state government that it cost them about ₦1 million to manage and treat COVID patients, depending on how the matter is serious. Well, just like every other commercial article in Nigeria, expensive in Lagos, affordable in the north, various versions in the east. So don't be surprised when any governor from the east comes to tell you, well, authentic COVID, original COVID, cha-cha COVID, tia-rubber COVID, 250. Belgium COVID, 125. Then patch COVID, 62.8. Then the one that my boy will do for you, 32,650. President Muhammadu Buhari has just inaugurated the committee for the Vision 2050. Yes, you heard it right, Vision 2050. But wait, what happened to Vision 2010? Or 2020? It's like these people, they just estimate that, you know, get hard, Jesus no go don't come. Then they now fix 1 year. They just throw javelin into 1 year. The thing just enters somewhere. Then they say, then behold, that year will not come. So now they have now said, with the way all these lucky girls and all these people are behaving, no how Jesus no go just verse come before 2050. Hello, committee, I have news for you. We will all be here. We will all be alive. And we will see that 2050. So get to work. Okay? Yeah, because we don't want a situation when we reach that 2050, you now move it again to 2090. Because the way these people are doing, moving all this vision, they are behaving like on serious bachelor. That the girl is saying, when I come to see my parents, he say, after next Easter, after next Shiloh, after next Valentine. Please, let's our vision move one place. Nigeria's Julius Malema or Moyele Sowore staged yet again another protest in reaction to all the recent increases we've been experiencing in fuel, in power, in DSTV, in taxi bill, in everything that we are doing. He went actually to hit the streets. Scratch that. No, he hit the laptop. That's right, by staging what is known as a global Zoom protest.
To just let you know, this is an online protest. It has never happened before in the history of Nigeria that the creative online protest that can gather the voices and the grievances of people can happen.
Now I think you people are beginning to take this virtual thing too far. Okay, like I like virtual church because I can always switch channel or blame it on network when it's offering time. You know, I like all these virtual things, but protest, you know, there's a limit to these things. Okay. Protest is that you are meant to hit physical locations, cause distraction, cause commotion, so that you can drag attention to yourself and then you state your demands or you state your pleas or whatever and you are being responded to. So when all of you come gather for Zoom, what exactly were you people gonna do or expecting? Because even my little children in this house, we are in front of my bedroom door a few days ago shouting, no more custard, no more custard, no more custard. Even children of how many years, they even understand protest. What are we doing with virtual protest? Oh, is it that okay, people will storm the internet space, then all of us now, our WhatsApp will hang, our Twitter will hang, Instagram will hang, Bobrisky will not post, all those things. They will not say, oh, why are we not posting? They don't say, oh, revolution now have occupied the internet. They will not say, oh, government, attend to them. Come on, we're really taking this virtual thing too far. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I need you to sit down, relax, because we're about to go into troubled waters. Karma. Just like everything that sounds like it, it's a bit. That's right. Karma is a bit, and this karma is actually trying to turn out to be a but it's not actually supposed to be a all right? Now, let's break it down in simple layman terms that you and I can understand. Company and Allied Matters Act of 1990, revisited in 2020. Just imagine, Burna Boy does a remake of Raskimono's song, Araba Style, is that simple. Or Rema does a remake of Alex O. Or Ricardo Banks. Anyway, you get the picture. You know what I'm trying to say. All right? So first of all, let's establish, Karma was not just created today. Karma has been there 30 years ago and just had to be revisited. Point number one. Company and Allied Matters Act is not strange to particularly those who studied law because they studied under a course known as company law. Next point. It's a bunch of provisions and guidelines and policies and what have you that will help to guide and navigate the running of organizations and businesses in the country. However, all the hues and cries and shout have been based on just one small section, Section 839, or as they will call it, Section 839 of the Company and Allied Matters Act, aka Karma is a bitch. Now, 839 has to do with non-profit organizations like schools, NGOs, and churches, to mention but a few. Now, in that group, NGOs are shouting, well, because we know some people who started NGO. We know some people who are even professional NGO runners. They start one NGO, they start one activism, and then they change their car from pencil light to ML. That is another issue for another day. Well, the churches are reacting. The churches are shouting. Well, on the part of government says that they are doing this to curb activities like this in the church. Well, on the other hand, the churches are saying no.
Forget karma. Maybe the churches that are very rich, they can karma them. Nobody can karma my church for me.
That is why I believe that every Christian leader, every Christian pastor, if you are corrupt, you should face the law and be dealt with, holistically in any form with the law. But I disagree that somebody will now propound a law that will control a spiritual entity, what they call karma. Because the church is asleep.
Namini Kosunia, a groko kakante a kradi sopa. Yes. You don't understand it? No. But understand what I said. I'm the one to see your end, you can't see my end. Zoruko. If you think I'm harassing you, try it.
So, let's try and make sense and reconcile all this. First up, the government does not have any plan to just come and boom, take over any church just like that. There are provisions that first, there has to be a petition or a complaint or something like that from at least 1/5, 20% of the members of the Board of Trustees. So in every 5 Board of Trustee member, 1 person can complain. In every 10, 2 people can complain. That means in every 12, you now have more than 1 Judas. So greater works we have right here. So the problem has to start from inside house. After all, now who know person, they do person. Now rat with the inside house, they tell the rat with the outside where the meat day. Second of all, it is the whole power does not rest entirely on the Registrar General. It has, those complaints have to go through the supervising minister and then through the courts. Of course, there's room for appeal and all of that. You know what? Don't take my word for it. Hear it from the intelligent people.
The act that was in existence before this new one, the commission always had the power to bring a petition asking if, since we are using that as an example, a church to be dissolved. That power always existed. So it's nothing new about that. It's just that, so people need to understand, therefore, that this is not completely new powers. It's just they've just elaborated it a little bit. Okay, so the first one is I say is a trustee of member, 20% of members. Second is the commission. Third, when the commission now decided, okay, there is a case to answer by this organization, the law in subsection 11 of section 389 says the commission must get the express permission of the federal minister in charge. So the federal minister in charge will also now be told, okay, we're about to do X. So each will look at the paperwork and say, okay, there's a case to answer. And finally, the commission now will now have to go to court. And then the court, the judge, will now look at the petition again and say, okay, there's a case to answer.
So you can see, the law is the law. After all, they say, give to God what is God, give to Caesar what is Caesar. Caesar just want to seize. That's why it's called Caesar. Anyway, this time around, they don't even want to seize anything. They just want to see. You know, is it that Caesar is seen or Caesar is seen? They just want to see what you're doing. Accountability. That's all. Okay. However, like every other thing in Nigeria, copy something from abroad, but they will not copy fully. This particular provision was copied from the Charities Commission in the United Kingdom. However, certain areas were left uncopied.
There. For example, like I said, the law doesn't say who can be appointed as, that doesn't mention it about the religion of the person who can be appointed as independent, oversight of a church. So, which technically means Corporate Affairs Commission, like I said, can employ an analogy to be the, independent examiner over a church. Technically, that would be legal, but practically, that would be silly. So those are the kind of things I'm saying that, but also, like I mentioned, who pays the advisors, the independent advisors? Who pays them?
Now, that again is another part of the law that people are shouting, oh, what if they bring Alaji to come and run church? Well, what if they carry evangelists to go and run mosque? Well, that is another area that the law has to actually specify who exactly should be this interim manager. But you know what? We can also draw that thing a little closer and even make the ship narrow. Okay, picture this. What if they also bring Mountain of Fire member to come and run House on the Rock? Hello? What if they bring Christ Embassy member to run Apostolic? What if they bring Sele to run Anglican Church, Presbyterian, or Baptist? So yeah, I agree. They should actually specify so that there will be no confusion. However, there's actually really no confusion because again, from the intelligent ones, they will tell you that the job of the interim manager is just to run the administration and they have no business with the spiritual or the divine. Therefore, 21 days fasting can continue, night vigil can continue, while these people are only looking at the accounts or the subjects brought before them in the petition, just to manage it. So as you can see clearly, this is not an attack on any religion. This is not a targeted plan to take over anybody's church or anybody's organization. This is just the law being the law. And just like the good VP said,
whatever the views of the church leadership may be regarding the question of how the trustees and where there are interim trustees or whatever can be managed, that should be put into proposals that can be brought before the National Assembly, before the National Assembly leadership, for consideration of amendments to the law. That is a process which is entirely open, and I believe that that's a process that ought to be pursued.
If you got issues, take it up, send your recommendations, send your objections to the higher authority. Or you know what, since we're doing religious here, there is a higher power that you can send to. Maybe the Holy Ghost fire can prevail on the Senate President and Speaker. Burn them and consume them, and they will change the law by themselves. So to all our religious leaders and those of us leading this conversation, I just have one word for you.
You must rest a little. No, just rest like this.
So that's our show, ladies and gentlemen, on pressing issues on this episode. Hope you had a nice time gliding and pressing through these issues. Don't forget, follow me on social media, Twitter and Instagram, and of course, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Turn on your notifications so that when the episode drops, when the video drops, you'll be the first to behold. All right, see you on the next episode of Pressing Issues, and be sure to know